Hello everybody, welcome back to Sin City Living. Jason here, bringing you today's video. As always guys, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, and please send us some emails, strategies, questions, something you'd like to see, another game you'd like to see. You can send us roulette strategies also, by the way. We do have the roulette layout and the roulette wheel. And otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's video. It might be a fairly quick video. Again, I haven't gotten much in the way of emails from everybody. So I want to talk about some of the next level skills that a dealer should have. By the time a dealer has been dealing for a couple of years, some of the things that you will see from the good ones. I'm talking the dealers that after 2 to 4 years find themselves over at the center strip, or dealers that are already on the center strip. Some of the things that you will see from them. Now, again, as I've mentioned in the past with other things, this is not a be-all, end-all list. It's not a comprehensive list, and it's not a guaranteed list either. I have been at the center strip and had some really bad dealers deal to me, so it can certainly happen. I'm going to refer to the good dealers, which there are a lot more good dealers than otherwise on center strip. So one of the first things you'll notice with those dealers is how calm, I suppose, they can be. That it doesn't matter what the bets are. We could be dealing with black, we could be dealing with chocolates, we could be dealing with $5,000 chips, and they're perfectly calm, perfectly relaxed, just dealing, just not even really sweating it, not thinking about it, not really looking down, not staring at the bets with fear in their eyes like you will see at a breaking casino. Breaking casino dealers that have been dealing for a few weeks to a few months, black hits the table and you notice they're just sitting there staring at the bets, staring at the table, just laser focused because they're nervous. Whereas you get those experienced dealers that doesn't matter what drops down. Drop $25,000 chips down onto the table and they're not sweating it. They're perfectly calm, perfectly relaxed, still talking to the players. And that's another thing you see. A lot more talking to the players. A lot more talking to the players in between rolls, even during the rolls, because they don't really have to focus so much on the bets. And more importantly, they are relaxed. Again, they are calm and relaxed. They're not sweating this stuff because now at this point they are at the experience and the skill level where they've reached the realization that they don't need to move fast either. You know, somebody said, you know, hey, I want to place the 9 for that, and handed it to me. Okay, cool. Go ahead and put it down, and keep going. I'm not going to panic about it because I know if that 9 rolls, I've got time to figure it out. I can sit there and slowly calculate out the payout. I'm not going to be in a rush. I'm not going to have anyone rushing me. I know I'm going to figure it out in a sufficient amount of time. No problems. No problem. No worry. It's going to be simple, you know. And if it does roll, well, that pays $21,000. That pays $4,200, and that pays $420. Pretty easy. Just add it all together. Good to go. So that calmness, that confidence. Now, when it comes to the place bets, there's a couple things that you'll notice with the really experienced dealers. First one is they're really good at keeping the bets basic, and I'm gonna start off with an example that would actually be at a tier 1 or tier 2, a break-in or just above casino, not at a premier casino because you're talking $25, $50 minimum bets at the premier places. But when you see something like an $18 8 and the player says press, and you have a dealer that instinctively you want to hand them the cap and just go up to 36, but you have a dealer that says, you know, hey, you want me to take it to 30? So a lot of players are going to say, yeah, that's good, because from 30 it's really easy. Then 30, 60, 90, you keep things in your dual color. Same thing though, if they're at that 36. If they're at that 36 and it rolls and the player says press, instead of taking them to 72, which is not a hard bet, it's really, really not a hard bet at all. A more experienced dealer will at first say, you know, hey, how about I take you to 60? Or, you know, hey, press me. You want to go up to 60? And more often than not, I'd say 85% of the time, players are going to say, yeah, cool, that works. And boom, you have a much, much easier bet. Now, I've also I actually saw this the other day, a player that just kept doing the press thing, and they ended up with a $192 $192.08. and they were in the middle of a massive roll, so they were railed out. Both rows on the rail just railed out with chips, and I could tell just from dealing with the guy for a little while that he wasn't. He never had his bets anywhere close to this high before. He wasn't a super experienced place bet player. Wasn't too familiar with the bets or the payouts or anything along those lines. So I just asked him. I didn't tell him. I just asked him. Said, "Hey, you want to throw down $18? We can go up to $210. Makes it real easy to pay, and it's going to pay $245 every single roll." Oh yeah, cool. And he dropped down $18, and from there we were able to go to a much simpler bet, much easier bet to look at, much easier bet to pay. And that applies going all the way up to just about anything. You know, I would rather take somebody to 900 than I would want to have them, you know, do some kind of press up to, you know, 804. I mean, you know, sure, we could pay it, but I'd much rather just take them up to 900. Along with that, though, you will notice that the really experienced players don't panic over improper bets at all. They don't even blink. If the player says, "Oh, let me get a $100 8," you know, put that on the 8. You know, "Oh, let me get a 6 and 8." You can look at the rail and say, you know, "Oh, you know, throw me down 4 whites." So they don't have any whites, or, you know, if you've been dealing to them for a few minutes and you realize they really don't know how to play and they're not learning off of it. Like if we tell, say, you know, "Hey, make it 102," or, you know, "Hey, drop me, you know, X amount." After the second or third time we tell them and it just doesn't sink in and they keep doing the same bet over and over again, we're just going to stop. We're just going to stop. We're just going to give them the bet that they're asking for, and we're not going to continue to try and teach them the proper bets. But you'll notice that the dealers don't really panic about it. They don't really care. It's not that big a deal for it to be a proper bet. They don't really care because they know how to pay it. They know what they pay. They don't need to calculate it. They don't need to think about it. They just know. Again, you get to that calm and that confidence. Right? So that's the biggest thing I suppose I want to say as far as once the dealers have been dealing for 2+ years, calm, confident, in control of their own game and their own skills, and pretty much able and willing to let the player do whatever they want. So I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, just plain fun. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.